Hello, 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 dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. So I got up this morning and I was like, okay, did everything I know to do in the morning. And then I had this urgency to come ahead and do a live. And, I've been, everybody's always, going through some type of transformation, right? But there is definitely this space that even people within like the spiritual community, let's say, were having a hard time, let's say, within the past few months when it came to confusion, when it came to having clarity on, how to move forward with things. And the thing that was coming through was that a lot of people got too comfortable. A lot of people got too comfortable when they hit a certain level, put it this way. People started to walk away from the daily spiritual routines that they had put in place, right? So whether it was that your meditations either got shorter and shorter, or you started doing them less frequently, so then you started to feel this disconnect. You started to feel as if there was how can I put it this way? As if there was no clarity coming through, or you weren't able to get or receive any messages. There was definitely this space where it the uncomfortableness, right, of things, of life, the feeling the disconnect from, from spirit, from God, from the universe. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that you were disconnected in a sense. It was that you prioritized other things, right? So there's definitely this need to get back to your roots, to get back to what it is that allows you to feel as yourself, that allows you to feel as if you are aligned with within yourself, but also with the things that you're trying to manifest. Now, a lot of people through, and again, guys, just ignore the noises in the background. Um, a lot of people have been asking, praying, wishing, and hoping for something, for a miracle. And I was listening to this song after I came out of meditations, and it's by Kirk Franklin, and it's called Miracle. But there's a verse where he is talking, and I wrote it down. It says, while you are waiting on the miracle you want, don't forget the miracle you are. And at times when we start to feel, let's say, the pressure of life, the pressure of the world, of the chaos that is among us during this time, we tend to focus our energy, or we tend to focus our attention on what it is that we want, and we tend to forget to be grateful, or to be in that space where we enjoy where it is that we are at. And that is kind of like, if you see everything that is going around the world and things like that, there is this shift that has occurred where it is about learning to enjoy where it is that you're at, regardless of, whether you're going through the dark night of the soul, whether you have overcome something, whether you grew through something, whatever it is. Because the thing is that there are a lot of people, let's put it this way, that are taking life in itself for granted, right? They get a little bit of something, let's put it this way, and then it's like they just forget about the basics. And this is about returning back to basics, returning back to yourself, returning back to what it is that you are meant to do during this time. What is your path? Are you aware of what it is that you're supposed to be doing? Are you aware of how it is that you're supposed to be living your life on a day-to-day basis? And this is not, again, none of these videos are ever meant to judge anybody or anything like that. But when we take that time to self-reflect, right, and see what it is that we are doing on a day-to-day, during our life, can you actually say that you are happy with what it is that you're doing? Can you say that you are happy with where it is that you are at? By human nature, we always want more. There's always a next level. There's always more that we're trying to attain, right? But there has to be, and that's the thing, is like, a lot of people are trying to push it away. A lot of people are trying to ignore it. And it's like, the more you push it, the more you ignore it, the more that the spirit is like encasing you within this pressure to get you to wake up, right? There's another verse in the song that really caught my attention. And it says, I know there are some who doubt it. Life don't let them think about it. But us, we cannot live without it. And that is, to me, like that space where when consciously you're moved in another direction, let's put it this way, or when your consciousness is expanding, right? And you start to see how we are all connected, regardless of religion, regardless of anything. And just because I chose that song, it's not that this message, let's say, it's just for Christians or anything like that. That is just a song that came up. And as you guys know, I connect through songs, is how a lot of the things come through for me. So there's definitely this space where, you know, some are trying to achieve perfection without realizing that they are already perfect. You know, healing and releasing is not about you not being perfect. It is about you freeing yourself from those things, from those belief systems, from those thought patterns that make you believe that you're not perfect. Because if you feel, if you're holding on to pain or hurt of the past, then there's always something that kind of brings it back to, why me? And instead of asking yourself, why you, be grateful that it's you. Be grateful that you're able to go through certain experiences before others do. Because it's not that others do not go through the same experiences. It is just some of us go through them sooner, or, first, in order to be able to help others. Now, there can be, 10,000 people going through the same exact issue in their life. And out of those 10,000 people, there's going to be one who is going to say, okay, I am done with this. I am ready to get myself out of this situation. So what happens then is that they start working, or they start to figure out, they go into that space where they start to trust themselves enough. They start to have faith enough and believe enough that they can get themselves out of that situation. And those are the ones that you see as leaders. Those are the ones that you see as guides. Those are the ones that you see, excuse me, in prominent positions that are able to influence by the massive. Why? Because when they were with those other 10,000, let's say, and I'm just using that number as an example, they stood out. They decided that they no longer wanted to be in that space. And right now, that is what you're being asked. You have asked for clarity. You have asked for the next level, right? You asked for your ascension to accelerate or to hit the next level. Whatever it is that you have personally asked for, are you ready for it? That is the question. And if you are ready to go ahead and take that next step into the unknown, and going by your faith, then what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Because that's the thing, is we can sit in a space and pray and meditate. But if you're not taking the actions of what it is that is being revealed to you, there's no point. And then again, some of you are in this space where you're like, that's what I want to be doing. That's how I want to live. But what are you doing today that is helping you get there? See, because we all have dreams. We all have things that we want to achieve, right? But then we tend to forget, and this happens to everybody, guys. It's happened to me, it's happened to a lot of people. When we dive into our spirituality and we look at all the possibility, we start to see how things can come into alignment. And sometimes we get distracted by the goal. Sometimes we get distracted by the dream itself, that we forget to put the little steps on a day-to-day basis when it comes to practical things that you can do. Right? There are a lot of people that are going through these massive waves of, being up for hours, being up in the middle of the night, being up for days, and then crashing for the same amount of time. But if you look at it from a logical perspective or a logical sense, there is no need for any of you to go into a space where you're draining yourself to the point where you're going to have to spend the next 3 or 4 days in bed. Why? Because you already have the knowledge, right? You have, and if you start to look at things from a logical space, because that's the thing, and I've said this before, your spirituality and your life, your day to day, have to be, they have to unite. Because if you continue to try to keep them separate, you're kind of always trying to catch up on both sides, right? You're trying to catch up with your spirituality, you're trying to catch up with life. But when you allow the two to merge, and you're living from your higher self, you're living from your truth, things just start to flow. And that is, I feel that a lot, that is kind of like the pinpoint, or the little aspect that a lot of people are still having an issue with. Some people, and it can be so simple as not being ready to let your families or your friends or whoever it is know what it is that you have gotten into. Maybe you have gotten into more trying to learn about the occult, or trying to learn about this, and it's like you are still, even though you're moving forward and even though you're learning, you're still operating from a space of fear if you're still hiding that part of yourself. So the thing is here, yes, continue on learning, but as you're learning, you can still go ahead and learn more about yourself and see why you're still operating in fear, right? Why are you still stuck in this specific space? Because the thing is that, yes, we can go ahead and we can blame the way we were raised, the religion we were brought up with. We can blame everything from our past, right? For that fear. But once you become aware that fear is literally what is holding you back, right? Whether it's fear of whatever, fear of letting people know what you're doing, fear of letting people know what you believe in, fear of going against other people's belief, fear of standing alone, fear of being successful, whatever it is still fear, and it still holds you back. And that is a space that when you become aware of it, you have to start taking the practical steps that are necessary to get you out of it, right? So there's definitely this sense where a lot of people during this time, anyways, are definitely in a space of trying to learn more, right? Trying to gain more knowledge, trying to really get to a space where they are understanding what it is that is going around them. You're seeing a shift of a lot of people, again, that were never spiritual, that never believed in religion or anything like that, that are now starting to see how it is that all of those, or all of us that are called quote unquote crazy, we're onto something. Let's put it this way. So there's definitely this huge worldwide awareness that is coming into the world. And again, some are suppressing it. And how do they suppress it? Very simple. They start binge watching, whether, and then guys, there's nothing wrong with watching TV. There's going to be times where just to kind of escape whatever it is, right? For a moment, for a second, where you're going to sit down and you're going to watch an episode or two of something, right? Or where you're just going to go ahead and sit down and listen to music, or you're going to go ahead and walk, or whatever it is. There are a lot of stimulus around us everywhere, right? So sometimes you kind of just need that mind escape. The thing is about not staying in that place for too long, where you allow, if you're fearful of something, right? I've always said it. One of my most weaknesses, or my most whatever, is going live. It's always a little bit more uncomfortable. It's easier when you're recording versus when you're actually going live. So I know personally that that is an uncomfortable space for me. So that is where I've had to have to go inside within myself to see why it is that I am so fearful of going live, right? And then once that revelation comes in and I accept it, I acknowledge it, I go through the healing process and I'm able to release it, then it starts to get more comfortable. A lot of people think that a lot of the people that, are doing whatever they're doing, whether they have successful business and regardless of whatever it is, they think that these are things that happen overnight, and they're not. Again, it's the little practical steps, the little things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. So there's definitely an energy that has come in to kind of wake people back up to that. Because again, a lot of people moved away from their day-to-day routine because they feel, or they were told at some point when they first started the spiritual journey, that having a routine is bad, that having a schedule is bad, that living by, a schedule is bad. And it's like, okay, it works for some people. Some people, and it's not that you have to have a schedule that is like, to the T every single minute. But if you don't have some type of schedule or some type of routine to follow, that is when you start to fall into these energies and into the space where you start to feel imbalance. And then you start to ask yourself, well, I was this and this and that 3 months ago. What happened? Well, then look at your actions. What did you stop doing during those 3 months? Did you stop working out? Did you go back, let's say, to an old habit that you worked very hard to get out of? And these are kind of like the things that during this time need to be reflected on. And unfortunately, again, it is very easy. And it's very easy to look at someone and be like, well, you need to stop doing A, B, C, and D, right? But it's a lot harder when you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, where did you fuck up? Like, where did you mess up? Where did you stop doing what helped you, or what allowed you to feel grounded, what helped you and allow you to feel aligned within yourself and with the universe? And that is kind of like what it is. That is where your energy and your focus is supposed to be at during this time, right? Trying to find whatever it is. Again, guys, there are many tools out there that can be used to help you align yourself, to help you feel grounded. And no, every day is not going to be the same. But if you start to pay attention to what it is that you're choosing to eat. And again, a lot of people think, a lot of people are like, well, how do you know? And that's the thing, is like, when you allow yourself to listen to your body, when you stop separating, again, your spirituality from everything else, you start to see how everything is connected. You start to see it based on the things that you are eating, when you're eating, how you're eating, and how it is that your body is responding, because our body are constantly trying to tell us something, right? Whether it is that you're slouching, whether it is that you're sitting straight up, whether it is that, you're hurting here, you're aching there. But what do? It has become the norm for many people that if I have an ache here, or if I have pain here, I'm just going to go ahead and grab some pain and ignore it, instead of realizing that those are signals that our body, that our spiritual body is sending us through our physical body, that something needs attention, that something needs to either be healed, something needs to be released, something needs to be created, something needs to be done, action, whatever it is. So there's definitely here an understanding that needs to come through for a lot of people, that you need to stop ignoring what it is that your physical body is trying to tell you. Because the longer that you ignore that, the longer that you keep this separation between your spirituality and your life, your regular life, or you would call your regular life, the harder that it is going to be for you to honestly be yourself, for you to honestly live from your truth, from your higher self. So, there are times, right? And I've said this before, where there is immense sorrow that I feel. And I don't question it, um, because I'm able to tell if something is mine personally, or if it's in regards to those that I'm connected to, to those that I'm supposed to bring the message to, and things like that. And, and this is not about showing off or anything like that. It is just that sometimes we have to take a step back and realize that every single person in this world is going through something, whether they say it, whether they show it. And it can seem something small to you, but to someone else, it literally feels like the end of the world, right? There are people that are going through depression, where there are people that have never gone through depression, right? So somebody that has never experienced depression, they look at somebody and just be like, just shake it off. And it's like, I wish it was that easy, right? So there's definitely a space where you need to have more compassion when it comes to others. Yes, and it can get aggravating, I'm not gonna lie, especially when you can see it. You can see it clearly, right? And we're not talking just about your physical eyes. It's like your intuition, right? You can see what it is that somebody is doing, let's say, to self-sabotage. And they come towards you, right, for advice or for help, and you give it to them, and they go ahead and they do the opposite of what you tell them. And then they come back and be like, oh, damn, I should have listened to you, right? And then you're just sitting there, you're like, I don't want to get mad at you. I don't want to get pissed at you. But didn't I tell you to avoid that, right? And that is kind of like the same. If that is a relationship that you have with spirit, if that is the relationship you have with the universe, then don't get mad if the only thing that is being revealed to you is a repetition of what was told to you the first time. Why is it being repeated? Well, simply because you haven't listened. You haven't. Some have gone into a space or an energy of being very stubborn, like, no, 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 I want this, and this is what I want. And that's the thing, is like, you want change, you want something new, but you're not willing to let go of what it is that needs to be removed. So a lot of people, then what happens is like, okay, this is what you want. You keep on asking for this. You keep on asking for this. This is what you're working towards, but you don't want to let go of this. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to remove it to you. Now, when I come in and I remove it from your space, when I remove it from your life, it's going to hurt you, because you didn't do it willingly, because you didn't accept that something came to an end. And that is kind of like, it is not that the world is against you. It is not that the universe is against you. It is that you are failing to see that you yourself have become your own enemy. You yourself have become that person that does not allow things to come in. And again, it can be as simple as the words that you're choosing to say. When you are under, and that's the thing, it's like, I can sit here, right, and be like, oh, I meditate, I do yoga, I walk in the forest. Yes, those are all things that I do, right? I wake up consciously, I'm doing these things. But then what happens when I'm under pressure? Now, are those tools literally helping me? Or am I just using them as a front? That's the thing. If you're just meditating just to meditate, but you're not allowing yourself to fully go there with your heart, what are you meditating to? That is the question. And that is kind of like the thing that a lot of people have to, get to an understanding, is that when we are under pressure, when it's hard to look at things from a different perspective, when you are in that, because when you're under pressure, there's usually, your body is going through a lot of things. The adrenaline is running high. Things start to change, right? You physically feel it, and it's like, it's almost this kind, and that's the thing, it's like the body really doesn't, it just reacts, right? Your body is reacting to whatever it is that is pressuring it in. But how you respond, your physical body, let's say, inward, is reacting, right, to the outsource, to the chaos outside of you. But how it is that you choose to mentally respond is where the key is where the change occurs, right? So let's say I'm making videos, right? The kids are getting loud, the dogs are barking. I can get angry physically. It's like, oh shoot, people are watching me, the dogs are barking, the kids are loud, there's a truck, there's this. I can get very angry, or I can just be like, you know what, it is what it is. Because it is. Because why am I going to then go ahead and put my mind into the space of chaos in itself over something that I can't control? I can't control. The dogs, when there are cars driving, they're going to bark because they feel that somebody's coming into their property. It is their protective way. It is their way of letting the outside world, those that are coming near their house, that this house is protected. And it's the same way that our body is reacting to certain things. So again, there is a need here that when there's any type of reaction from your body, your mental, your mind is not reacting as well, but instead you're taking that time in order to be able to respond to whatever it is. And all right, let's put it this way. I'm a nurse. A lot of you are aware of that. I am not currently practicing, but I did for many, many years. Like, how many years was it? It's too many years. But for me, when I started working at my last job, systemic reactions was something that scared me. Not because I felt that I was incapable of handling the situation. It was just because it was new territory. So when I was hired, I realized that whenever there was a systemic reaction, I kind of wanted to be away from it, right? Because if I was pulled into that situation, I kind of felt like I didn't know what I was going to do, even though you're never the only nurse. So what I started to do is when we had downtime in the office, I would go into the systemic rooms and I would start to see where everything was. I would start to get familiar with where, everything was, the oxygen, the IV, everything, to kind of have a flow of how the room was flowing, right? I would go ahead and read notes of how it was that, how people were handling the systemic reaction, how it was that they were doing it. But still, as prepared as I felt, right? The first time that I was pulled into a systemic, obviously it was myself with my supervisor and one of the doctors. My body reacted, but my mind didn't. I just went ahead and it just flowed. And then it became a space where that rush, that adrenaline, that space where my body is kind of like, okay, like literally it's not about like, oh, they're fine. No, you can literally lose a person. A person can actually die in your hands, whether you give the wrong dose, whatever it is, a person can drop dead. But to me, that became my comfortable place. And that showed me that regardless of the pressure, regardless of the chaos, I was going to stay in control of me. I was going to stay in control of my mind. And that is what a lot of you have to get to a point where it is, okay, you're tired. Well, what are you doing to make sure that you don't get tired or you don't get so depleted to the point again that you can't function? Can you answer yourself that question truthfully? Because the thing is that a lot of people right now are like, well, I'm being blocked here, I'm being blocked there. This person is sending me witchcraft. This person is sending me this. This person is sending me that. This person is hating on me. This person envies me. And none of that is coming up. None of it. You have imprisoned yourself within your own mind because the path is clear. It is about you making a choice. It is about you stepping out of your comfort zone and moving forward. It is about you stepping out of your comfort zone and taking that first step. And I know that sometimes it's not something that we want to hear. Sometimes We want to hear that someone else is doing something to hurt us, someone else is doing something to block us. The only way someone else can block you, the only way someone else can hurt you, harm you, make you feel less than, is if you are giving them that power. Because trust me, even, and that's the thing, is like, you will be aware of things that are going to scare you, of course, of things that you may tell yourself, well, I'm never going to go down that route. I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to do that. And, the universe has a very funny way of making you eat your own words. Because when we say that we're never going to do something without ever either learning about it or without ever allowing the clarity that needs to, because of course everything that you're coming across, right, every tool that you learn, every whatever it is, right, every ritual that you see, whatever it is not for you to go ahead and partake in everything. It is more about learning that there are many different ways to get to where it is that you want. But the harder that you fight the knowledge, the awareness that is trying to come in, the longer that you find yourself stuck within the same spaces that you are in. So I just want to go ahead and I want to pull out some oracle cards. We are pulling out, these are the Moonology ones. I'm going to pull out 3 cards. One for the past energy, which is the energy that you guys are, coming out of. The advice energy, not to get the advice. You see, now I'm the advice is at the end, guys. We're pulling out some. Oh, actually, let me timestamp this before I forget, because then I'm going to have to sit here and wait for it to download before I can, finish uploading, excuse me, before I can go ahead and timestamp it. And I know some people just like to go straight to the cards. I know that the watering candle is something that is different for a lot of people, and some people are just not used to it, or they feel that they get more clarities from the cards. So we're picking one out for the past, the current energy, and the near future. Now, it depends where it is that you are, depends on which cards are going to resonate more with you. So for the past energy, we have faith in your dreams, the waxing crescent moon. Some of you have definitely walked away from that space where you stopped believing in your dreams. You stopped believing in the things that you wanted to achieve, regardless of whatever it was that brought that space where you kind of lost faith. You're definitely being asked to kind of go back and allow yourself to dream. When you were a child, children tend to daydream a lot. They tend to look at things from a different perspective. And there's definitely this space where, when we don't allow ourselves to dream, when we don't allow ourselves to have those dreams of the things that we want to accomplish, life can then seem like we're just going day by day, right? You're not working towards anything. You're just here. And it's like you're existing, but you're not living, right? You're just there. You're like, well, I wake up, I go to work, come home, I eat, I go to sleep. And you kind of start to lose the passion for life. You start to lose the passion for love, for joy, for happiness, because then you just get in this kind of like blah type of energy. So make sure that as moving forward, right, you're still holding on to your vision, you're still holding on to your dream. With the current energy, we have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. And this makes complete sense during this time, right? Why? Because of the simple fact, again, that you're being redirected as to what it is and that you need to do to make sure that you're still going towards your dream, that you're still going towards the things that you either started or that you've wanted to start, but you held yourself back from actually starting. With the outcome, a win-win outcome is forecasted. Full moon and Libra, guys, right? There is no losing when you're being true to yourself. There is no there is no wrong path, guys. And I keep on saying this. There's definitely going to be a path that is going to be easier. But or not easier, I shouldn't say that. There's going to be a path, ignore there's a truck. There's going to be a path that is going to get you quicker to your destination, right? To your next level. But it's usually the most uncomfortable one out of the choices that you have. So let's go ahead and see what is the challenging energy here when it comes to staying true to your vision, to your dreams, to allowing yourself to dream. Huh. Haven't used these in a while. The Spirit of Pentacles, of course, in the reverse. The Lord of Pentacles. The Two of Swords in the reverse. So again, we're back into this into the space where you guys are feeling again that disconnect, right? And you're trying to achieve something without help, whether it is without, let's say, your soul tribe, without someone, without spirit, without the universe. And it's like there's nothing here that you have to prove. And that's kind of what you have to realize. It's like you guys are trying to prove something to someone. And unless your intention changes to yourself, that you're doing something because it's what brings you joy, it's what you feel in your heart that you're meant to do, you're going to continue to feel that disconnect because you're coming from a space more of revenge or wanting to be vengeful against someone. It's like somebody told you that you couldn't do something. Somebody told you that you couldn't achieve something. So initially, those emotions, that reaction from your body allows you to start something, allows you to, put a plan together to actually start taking action. But then what happens when your motivation is outside of you, when your motivation is someone else? It can easily go away. But when your motivation is yourself, when your motivation is about living your best life, it's about living your truth, then that changes the game. And that is something that is being shown to you guys at this time, or has been shown to you guys in the recent past. Or that is probably what you guys have to realize when it comes to why something is not going in your favor. Again, if you feel disconnected to spirit, is because you have chosen to. You have chosen to, through your actions or the lack of. What is the advice? What is the advice for these cards? The Spirit of Cups in the reverse. The Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Lady of Swords. So when we look at the Spirit of Pentacles in the reverse with the Spirit of Cups in the reverse, there's definitely this surrendering that needs to happen. Stop thinking that people are going to think that you're weak because you're seeking help or because you're taking that time to go inward. Stop worrying so much about what others are going to think. Everybody, again, with everything that is going on in everyone's life, like personal life, a lot of people are not even worried about what it is that you're doing. And I'm being honest with you. Some people are, but a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are either coming towards you because they want to get to where you are at. And some of you are failing to see how much you have actually grown, how much you have actually evolved, and how much you actually have to offer. Because again, you're stuck in this space. excuse me, guys, you're stuck in this space where you're asking, you're asking, but you're failing to see the answer. You're failing to allow yourself to receive the answers that you have searched for. With the Lord of Pentacles, we do have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. And the advice here is, again, what needs to be released, because that's the thing, sometimes we get attached to materialistic things, we get attached to environments, we get attached to people, we get attached to jobs, and that is kind of like the space where, yes, you can enjoy what you're doing, you can enjoy being around certain people, you can enjoy the place that you live, you can enjoy, but do not get attached to it to the point where when you are asked to release something, you are unwilling to do so because you're afraid of, if this space, whatever it is that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, is it going to be replaced with something better, or am I going to go downward again? And that is kind of like, okay, why are you thinking like that? Why is your mind even going there in the first place? Have you not learned anything yet? When we go ahead and we look at the Two of Swords in the reverse, of course, we have the Lady of Swords. A lot of you are going to have to make those difficult choices in your life, whether it is to, there's definitely situations, and they do not have to all be romantic, guys. This is any type of situation that you have been told over and over and over and over again to let go of, to release. Right? This, and for some of you, it's just as simple as, I surrender. Some of you want to have so much control that you are unwilling to surrender to what it is the Spirit is trying to do in your life. Some of you have gotten comfortable within the spaces that you are in that you do not want to surrender, that you do not want to let go because you like it here. But if you, trust me, if you surrender, if you let go of that control, you're going to realize that where it is that you're headed, where it is that you're being taken to, is far better. And you're going to feel more, there's just so much more trying to come in for you guys, if you guys allow it. So cards are starting to fall. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick out some outcome cards. We have the Six of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. Some of you are definitely going to go ahead and, take the necessary steps, take the necessary make the necessary choices, or either it is that you guys are picking up your routine. You guys are trying to find what your routine are. You guys are trying to find out what your flow is, right? Because you want to find that balance. You want to find that, you want to feel like you are connected again. You want to feel like it's kind of like, for some of you, like you lost faith in something. You lost faith, either a lot of you in your dreams, a lot of you in whatever belief system or whatever it is. So you're trying, or you're trying your best to get back to this place. And a lot of you are going to be very successful with it, because again, you're definitely with the Six of this is the Six of Swords. With the Six of Pentacles, I feel that you guys are weighing out your options, right? If I don't surrender, if I don't give in to what it is the Spirit is trying to do in my life, I'm going to be stuck here. And I don't want to be stuck here anymore. And it may not be like the best choice or the best reasoning behind surrendering, but it definitely gets you to that point where you allow yourself to surrender to what it is that is trying to come through. With the Eight of Swords, you're going to, when you take that time to reflect how it is that you have been stopping yourself, how it is that you have been sabotaging yourself. I don't feel that you guys are going to go into a space of like blaming yourself or being angry with yourself or anything like that. you're going to accept it, and you're going to then figure out how it is that you're to move away from it, right? If you realize, or you may recognize that, your words, right, what you're saying, you're speaking out of fear. You're attracting, or you're calling in the things that you actually don't want. So some of you are definitely going to get into the space where you're looking more into the words that you're using, whether it is that you're writing them or that you're actually saying them. So now we're going to go ahead, and this is the Believe in Your Own Magic deck. And I just want to pull out one card for you guys when it comes to the past. We have the Spaceship, number 43. Don't be afraid to sing. Don't be afraid. And again, we were talking about it. Fear is definitely a huge factor here when it comes to what has been holding a lot of you guys back. So now we're going to go ahead, and the personal issue reaches resolution. And again, I don't feel that this is so much. For some of you, it may be an issue that you're having with someone else, but this is more about the self. This is more about you, your own evolution, your own growth. That is what we're looking at during this time. So let's go ahead and see, what is the challenging energy? The Dreamer of Wands, of course. Needing to regain that faith when it comes to your dreams, the Ten of Cups. Needing to regain the faith when it comes to yourself, to your own gifts, to your own abilities, right? And the Lady of Pentacles. Some of you is definitely going to be as simple as, again, allowing yourself to dream. Allowing yourself to go into that space where it's kind of more like a childlike energy, where you are just loving life. You are excited about everything that you're learning. You're excited about everything that it's coming towards you. You're celebrating everything. You're just excited about life. And that is something that has definitely been challenging for a lot of people, because of the simple fact, a lot of people, and not everybody, but a lot of people are restricted within four walls. Not everybody, can get outside every day. Not everybody can, do the normal things that they once did. And because of that, when you are secluded, when you are in that space of isolation, and it's not by choice, it is because you have been forced to, it definitely makes things a little harder. It definitely makes it a little harder to look at life from, a brighter side, or from a positive perspective. But there's definitely here, it's like you yourself are in control of your mind, and you have to go ahead and do whatever it is that is necessary to get yourself out of that funk, or out of that space that allowed you to lose faith in your dream, and that allowed you to lose faith in yourself. A lot of you is like you lost faith in yourself first before you lost faith in your dream. So, and these cards just keep on falling, guys. So let's go ahead and see, what is the advice here? So with the Dreamer wands, we have the Dreamer angel in the reverse. There is definitely the space here that maybe you guys started something, maybe you guys took a leap of faith, and things didn't go as you wanted or as you envisioned, let's put it this way. And that in itself allowed you to give up, right? Well, not everything you try the first time is going to be successful. There needs to be practice. As like, let's say with anything, when you learn to ride a bike, the first time you get on, you're not always successful, but does that mean that you give up? So there's definitely this space where you need to get back up and stop complaining. Stop complaining about what didn't work out. Stop complaining about how hard it is to achieve something. Because if you're in that space where you feel like you are giving too much, or you have to work too hard for something, then maybe that is not the path or the line that you're supposed to be going towards. Maybe that path was there to teach you something, but wasn't actually where you were meant to be at during this time, or stay at. Maybe that was just a path on the way to where it is that you were supposed to stop, and maybe you stopped a little too early or whatever it is. With the 10 of cups, we do have the 6 of cups in the reverse. Realizing or recognizing what it is that caused that initial that initial feeling where you started to lose faith in yourself, when you started to lose faith in your abilities, in your gifts, and what it is that you have to offer the world. Was it something externally, right? Was it something that somebody said? Was it something that somebody did? Or was it all internally? Were you not able to go of a certain belief system? Were you not able to let go of a certain person or something like that? With the Lady of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Cups as your advice. Again, if whatever it is that you want to get into, or whatever it is that you want to go back to, right, is coming from your heart. And again, this is not about relationship, guys. This is about the self, right? This is about your path. If it is coming from your heart, again, don't worry so much about how other people are doing things, what other people are doing. Follow your heart. Allow your heart to kind of lead the way, because regardless, and then that's the thing. It's like people think that when you're following your heart, you can't get angry, you can't get mad. People put all of these labels on what being spiritual means or it doesn't mean, and all of this other stuff. And you kind of have, some of you have to kind of wipe that out and be like, what is true to me? What is it that my intuition is telling me, right? Because nobody is perfect. Some people out there are trying to reach this level of perfection based on what society has said that perfection is. Again, you are already perfect exactly as you are. Nobody is perfect in the sense of how, again, society wants you to be, because it's something that we are not capable of achieving. We're not. We all come from different backgrounds. We all come. So if you start your words, I am perfect, whether I am trying to achieve perfection, it changes everything. It changes the entire game, guys. And that is something that you guys have to realize. Stop trying to achieve society's perfection and accept the perfection that you are. Accept who you are as you are. Let's go ahead and see, what is the outcome here? The 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. The Dreamer of Cups, and then the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. There's definitely here a space where there is an illusion, or there's something that is being broken down. There's a belief system or something that is being broken, that is being demolished, that has kept you from going back, that has kept you from starting something. And this is definitely you see, that's the thing. It's like, these are those little hard things. I feel that this is something that is definitely, you're being forced to realize this, or you're being forced to acknowledge this, because the time that you were given to go into this and to allow yourself to surrender to how it was that you were lying to yourself, or how it was that you were within an illusion, an illusion, excuse me. You fail to see it, or you fail to allow the awareness to come in. With the Dreamer cup, of course, is going to be a little uncomfortable as this illusion is being broken down, right? This, whatever it is for you, right? But just know that it's definitely going to bring you back into that space, into that energy where you are feeling that you are living your truth. You are feeling like you're going, or that you are in, like, on the right path, right? You're definitely going into that space where you're going back to what it is that you initially wanted to do, whatever it was, whether it is how it is you wanted to help people, etc. With the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, you guys are definitely shifting your energy, shifting your emotions, your feelings, away from what others are expecting or what you think others are expecting from you. Because I don't feel that a lot of people are expecting a lot of things from you. I feel it's like you think a lot of people are expecting certain behaviors or certain things from you. So you're definitely moving away from that because you're realizing how that has definitely played a huge part in how it is that you tend to get yourself to a space where you are stuck, where you are not moving forward, where you are not manifesting. So you're just releasing that. So let's go ahead and see what is the final advice card for the current energy. What is the advice card for the final advice card for the current energy? It's like, seriously. Expectations. Don't seek anyone's approval. Number 12. And even if I wanted to, guys, I can't. It is what it is. Don't seek anyone's approval. Don't seek anyone's approval when it comes to your dreams, when it comes to your life. And trust me, once you start to live from that space, things change. They just do. It is what it is. And and again, it's not about feeling or thinking that you're better than anyone else or anything like that. It is just you're being true to yourself. And that is really what you're supposed to be doing. That is what you're supposed to be learning and you're supposed to be taught as a child. Instead of like, no, don't do that. No, don't, you can't wear that. No, you can't go out like that. No. And it's like from childhood, we're constantly being told we can't wear certain things. We can't wear our hair like that. We can't do this. We can't do that. So we grow up in this space or this energy where we're so restricted that then as adults, we don't even know who we truly are. And that is kind of like what a lot of people are becoming aware of. A lot of people are starting to realize. So with the future card, we have a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. So what is the challenging energy when we go ahead and we go towards this? The 3 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and the Lord of Wands. How can this, and that's the thing, is like, how can this be a challenging energy is what I'm, and I get it. Trust me, I get it, right? But it's kind of like some of you have been in a space for way too long of struggles, of challenges, chaos, right? So when something good starts to happen, when things start to shift, be very careful that you're not going back into that mentality like, well, everything is going good, so now something bad is going to happen. Because first of all, you're not enjoying, you're not celebrating where it is that you are at. You're not celebrating the growth. You're not celebrating the healing. You're not celebrating anything. All you're focusing on is, oh, what the heck is going to go bad? And that is kind of like this space that you guys have to be very careful as things start to manifest, as things start to go your way, as you find that alignment with the universe. Be very careful that within your own mind, you don't fall into those old patterns. So let's go ahead and see what is the advice. Because again, it's like you're that miracle that you wanted it's on its way, right? Just again, don't allow your thoughts to rob you of it. Because that is what I feel that a lot of the things are coming in. Like, don't fight the success. Learn which battles you are meant to fight, because that's, we have the Lady of Swords here with the 3 of Cups, right, as your advice. Some of you start to fight your own success. You start to fight your accomplishments, where it is that you may go into a space where you're asking yourself, do I really deserve this? So that is something that you're being asked to really pay attention during this time, as you're manifesting, as you are getting these rewards. Because the thing is that just by thinking that you don't deserve something, or just by thinking that um, maybe there's somebody else that's more deserving than you can actually be blocking something from coming in. With the Two of Swords, with the Four of Wands, again, there's definitely it, and that's the thing. It's like, maybe this is something that you're learning, or maybe this is something that has just become aware to you, that through your words and through your thoughts, and again, I know I keep repeating it, but that is where it is that your mouth is what's getting you in trouble. Yeah, because it's like, you're just like, okay, if something comes in, right, like a negative thought comes in, don't, it's not for you to speak it out. It's for you to be aware that it's there. Sometimes you have to definitely take a space, or move back into a space where you are aware of things, but you're not reacting to them. So be very careful, because I do feel that the closer that you're getting to this, the closer that you're getting to this level of manifestation, or when things are starting to come in, there's definitely going to be a lot of distractions coming in, whether they're coming in as a form of your own thoughts, or other people trying to, and not trying to, but other people coming in with their problems, let's say, with their drama. Not so much that they want to include you in it, but so much that they want you to solve it. There's definitely this space where you can start to kind of like internalize someone else's dialogue, or internalize someone else's negative thought pattern. With the Nine of Cups in the reverse, with the Lord of Wands, excuse me, again, do not ignore whatever feelings your body is trying to tell you. Do not ignore, because the thing is that, again, there's definitely going to be distractions that are going to, in a sense or in a way, kind of challenge you to see if you have really come out of a certain space, if you have really healed something completely, right? So we have the Lady of Pentacles again, and then the Dreamer of Cups came back out. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. So there's definitely, again, it's like success is here, right? That boost, that takeoff in whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's in business, whether it is within your own spirituality, whether it is that you're seeking or searching like a higher awareness, or whatever it is, that is coming in for you during this time. But you have to make sure that you are ready. And one of the ways that you're going to be ready is, again, by staying true to yourself and staying true to the things that you feel led to do during this time. With the Four of Wands and the Two of Swords, we do have the Dreamer of Cups. And there's definitely this space where you're going after, and that's the thing, is like, you're going after your dreams, you're going after your heart's desire. You're no longer in the space where you are limiting the possibility of the things that you want to achieve. You're no longer limiting what it is, or where it is that you can get. And that's the thing, is like, it doesn't have to be that you want this huge, you want an island to yourself or something like that. But it's just about like the little practical things. So some of you just want like financial stability. Some of you just want inner peace. Some of you just want to feel joy. Some of you just want to get out of the struggle energy. Whatever it is for you, it's like, it's coming, and it's definitely going to allow you to have a different perspective on life, on the world, but also on how it is that you, again, yourself have sabotaged yourself in the past. We have the Six of Pentacles, and there's definitely this space where you're going to, and that's the thing, is like, when we get to the space where we feel that everything is balanced out, where we feel that everything is finally in its place, right? Something else is about to happen, right? But what you're being told is, allow yourself to enjoy that place. Allow yourself to enjoy the blessings. Allow yourself to enjoy your miracles, your your manifestation. Allow yourself to celebrate yourself. A lot of you celebrate the things and are grateful for the things that come in, but you have to remember to always be grateful for yourself. Always be grateful for being alive. Always be grateful for, everything for you. You have to always start with you. And that, some people may say, well, that's very selfish. And it's not selfish. Self love is not selfish. It is something that is necessary. And unfortunately, a lot of people are always taught that we have to be selfless, and being selfless is putting others always in front of yourself. It's about putting others for you at all times, and that is not true, because the thing is that if you yourself don't are not in a space where you're balanced, let's say mentally, if you yourself are dealing with, let's say you have schizophrenia, or you have depression, you have anxiety, but then you're there working as a psychiatrist, it's like, what advice are you truly giving? How are you truly helping someone, right? If you're, let's say, you want to be a personal trainer, but you don't know how to work out, you don't know how to eat, or you eat as junk food, or how are you going to help somebody attain a healthier lifestyle if you yourself haven't experienced it, right? So this is kind of like, how can I try to help others if I myself haven't helped myself, right? So, and that's where all of this self love, self worth, self value comes in. A lot of people don't like hearing about it, because it's like, well, I just want to know what's going to happen in their life for screwing me over. And it's like, why are you so worried about someone else? Are you worried about what's happening in your life? Are you worried about where it is that you're headed? Are you worried about, what opportunities are coming your way? That is kind of like the shift here that needs to be made for a lot of people. By human nature, we're always going to want somebody to get what they deserve. By human nature, we're always going to want somebody to get their karma. By human nature, we're always going to want to see what someone else is doing, like somebody from our past, etc. But it's going above that. That is what you guys have to try to attain. Let's put it that way. So let's go ahead and see, what is the advice here? Of course, we have the garden. Something lovely will grow from this. Something lovely will grow from this. And that is number 15. So definitely, again, whatever it was that shook your faith, or whatever, whether it was your faith in your own belief system, whether it was your faith in yourself, in your dream, etc. Just know that and you're moving away from that energy, right? But there's definitely there are things that you're going to have to let go of. There are things that you are going to have to accept that you were still holding on to, even though you don't want to. But it's like you just really, some of you are just really like, I really don't know how to let go of this. I really don't know how to let go of this anger or this resentment that I have towards someone. And clarity is definitely coming in. Clarity has come in. And that's the thing is, it is about, are you accepting the clarity that has been revealed to you? Or you want a different outcome. The harder you fight against what it is that is trying to come in, the more uncomfortable you're going to be. And that is just what it is. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you at this time. My connection is poor all of a sudden, but thank you for spending this time with me. I do hope and pray that this message helped you guys. Sending every single one of you love and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye. And end it.